Hi and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Creative Corner. Today I have for you some garden fairy houses that we're going to be making out of clay. So before we get started with our workshop, as usual, let's go ahead and look at some of the supplies we'll be working with. You would like to keep your work area nice and clean, so one of the most important things before we get started is to lay down a piece of plastic. I'm using a trash bag just to cover my work surface because we are working with clay. It's going to get a little messy. I also do have the clay container with me, and I did not cut my fingernails prior to the workshop, so I do have a pair of gloves so that way the clay doesn't get underneath my fingernails. And I do have a variety of clay sculpting tools at my disposal. You can get these kits relatively cheap for $5 to up to $20-30 depending on the kit that you actually get. But a lot of these tools are beneficial to help sculpting out clay, and we will get into how to do that here in a bit.
behind and steals the brilliant stores away. While all around I hear the sound of friends who come this far. We are looking up and chanting with one voice. Don't look down, 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 don't look down. Learn to fly, but don't look down.
I know it was relatively fast, but working with clay takes a lot of time. So what I did was I made two shapes. One was the base of the house. The second was the top of the house. I went ahead and did a nice mushroom design. So this is the house we're going to work with. And then I added a few details. So some of these are plastic nubs where they're flexible, easy to work with. So I used that to make the design for the bottom of the mushroom. And then I went ahead and made the door, and I tried to make a little wood design on the door. Attached a door handle, made a nice window, and then I made ourselves a chimney. Now, if you haven't worked with clay before, the trick to attaching clay pieces together instead of just putting them together, because as you can see they pull apart relatively easy, is just to get something that's nice and hard. You can use a toothpick, a pencil if you want to, but on one of your clay pieces, you're going to go in one direction and cut into it. And then with the other clay piece, as you've seen with the house, you're going to do the same thing. And instead of attaching the two pieces in the same direction, you're going to turn one of the pieces and attach it like so. So if you pull it apart, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. The way the lines work is the grooves aren't going to lock in like so. Instead, they're going to lock in diagonally, so creating almost like a zipper effect. That's going to secure your your clay pieces together, and that's what we did for the top of the mushroom and the bottom of the mushroom, as well as the chimney piece. Now I wish I had some wire, so I could put the wire inside the chimney, which would make it more secure instead of more kind of flimsy and flexible. But this is air dry clay. So it is going to take a while for the clay to dry, so set it aside, leave it for about 2 to 3 days. Then the outside should be nice and hard, similar to a rock, but more than welcome to design your house however you would like to design your house. I made a nice chimney. The next thing to do after it's done drying is to go ahead and paint it. So I would suggest you paint it with acrylic paints. Maybe get some cotton balls, tear the cotton balls apart, and add it to the top of the chimney to make a nice smoke effect. But this is our garden fairy house, and experiment with different shapes, different houses. Take a look at different fey folk housing, whether that be a tree, a mushroom, anything that you would typically find in the forest. The limit is your own imagination. Thank you for joining me this afternoon as we made a garden fairy house. Again, the only limit to the shape of your house is your own imagination. Today we worked on a mushroom style house with a nice chimney. I am going to go ahead and continue working on some of the details for the house. And then once it's fully dry, I will paint it and hopefully post it on our social media. So if you want, when you make yours, just post it to our social media and we'll go ahead and go from there. But my name's Josh. If you haven't already, be sure to go to our social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. One of my favorites, TikTok. You can find all of our social media on the homepage of our website, which I will put in the description of this video, so it's easier for you to find. But thank you very much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.